All right, Chris Prefontaine, you are the founder and CEO of SmartRealEstateCoach.com. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Josh. Appreciate it.
So Chris, tell me how you got into real estate. Now, one thing we definitely want to talk about is how you're growing and scaling your platform, because you've certainly built a name for yourself. And I think you're doing it right. I think you're absolutely doing this so smart. And we have similarities in how we've chosen to grow businesses in terms of serving audiences. We'll get into that. Sure. But tell me how you got into this space.
I've actually been in real estate since, I'm going to date myself, Josh, but 91 is when I started buying and selling or building, so I've been at it for a while. And then what we're doing now kind of evolved from the crash in 08, so we do everything a little differently now, of course.
And when did you kind of take the leap from working in the industry yourself and as an investor, and you decided, I'm going to share what I've learned with other people?
Yeah. So in 2000, I had sold a company back then, a brokerage company, to Coldwell Banker, and I started coaching throughout U.S. and Canada. But it wasn't on the level it is now. There was a lot of realtors in there, not just investors. And what really started the coaching business the way it exists today is in 2014, had a local, we have a war college here. So we had a local military guy that said, look, I'm done with, he's been over many tours to Iran, Iraq. Yeah. And he said, I'm done. I want to learn real estate. And long story short, I coached him locally here until he relocated back to civilian life. And then it grew from there. We did some email campaigns with different people in the industry, and the business grew from there. So now we've got, 12,000 some odd people on our list. And that all started with a little ebook that we wrote, back then.
So tell me about, what did you put in the ebook, and what made you decide, I just need to get this all written down?
I had some online training, real rough online training from people I followed online, and I just knew some kind of a funnel had to be started. So the book was called Eat That Sandwich, and it was about sandwich leases in real estate. And the title was enough for people to get it for free and, dive in a little bit. It taught what we were doing with just that one technique of sandwich leases.
Do you think that real estate coaching does it feel kind of like a crowded space? As an outside observer, it seems like there are a lot of people that want to get rich teaching other people how to make money in real estate.
I couldn't agree more. So we were talking off the show, and I'll say this very pointedly, because there's a lot of junk, but that's any industry. I'm not knocking just this one, right? But of course, because of it, there's a gap. I have students that come in weekly and say, I've taken this course, I've spent tens of thousands, and I haven't done any deals yet. So they're tainted. And so our mission here, among other things, is to close that gap from the time they take a course or do something at a seminar to actually get a deal done. And to fix that, we're actually doing deals with our students. That's a big difference.
How does that work?
So if you're in one of the coaching and mentoring programs, we call it associates, is what we call it. We're actually partnering on the deals, meaning if they need us to call sellers, if they need us to call buyers, if they need to negotiate a deal, if they need to review paperwork, we're literally on it with them, like we're in the deal with them, versus, hey, I can call you once a week and that's your allotted time, and then you move on and try to wing it on your own, or versus selling them a course and, good luck, which a lot of people do.
And what work are they actually doing? And then they come to Smart Real Estate Coach, and Smart Real Estate Coach does. So I guess just in terms of like division of labor, who's doing what then?
Yeah. Okay. Good question. So it's not so much as labor. So here's how it starts. You're a student. You generate your own leads. We tell you to do everything we do here as a family company. It's just the execution of that you may need help with, especially if you're brand new. Many of our students are new. So you generate a lead. You're just learning the scripts for the first time. So you send us the call to critique and help you get better and better and better at that. That shortens the learning curve. Yeah. Then by hearing that and doing that call with you, I might say, hey, Josh, get me on the phone with that guy next time you talk to him or her, right? And so if they're brand new, they're going to pull us into the next three-way conversation, actually negotiate the deal with them and for them with that potential seller. So as needed, the more they know, we get to back off a little bit, but it's very front end heavy because they need help at the beginning when they're new.
Totally. And Chris, I actually really like that model, because I think that it's that fear that keeps our students from doing the thing that's going to bring them the success so that they can get the results, so that they can get a return on investment. If there's, an investment in a platform or an education that they've invested in, I think there's nothing more frustrating as a teacher, seeing people just get a bunch of head knowledge but then they don't do anything with it. And I think that's kind of a waste.
Yeah, it's the whole implementation, right? That's the only thing that stops it, because we teach the same thing. Think about it. We teach the same thing to everyone. The course is the same. So what makes someone get a deal in 30 days and others get a deal in a year and others just go off and do something else for the shiny object syndrome? All right here, right? It's the execution of it, and it's the headspace.
Yeah. So Chris, in terms of your visibility, can you kind of explain what you do to let people know about Smart Realtor? What you do?
Yeah, we do, well, shows like this on other people's shows. And I appreciate you having us on. We have our own podcast, smartrealestatecoachpodcast.com, where I have a plethora of people in the industry. That helps a lot. It's very well received. And then we've got our 2 books, obviously. That doesn't hurt. You know, they're both bestsellers. So we do as much as we can. And if you haven't noticed, things like that and YouTube, and I do as much as we possibly can for free. So people can dip their toe in. And if they want to pursue it further, great. But if they don't, great. You know, they did a little bit of a prequel on their own, so to speak.
Well, what about others? Let's say there's someone else that wants to be a real estate teacher, and they say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to dump a ton of money into ads. I'm going to get them into a lead capture page, and then they're going to buy my product. I'm going to give them a tripwire, and I'm one funnel away from making millions. So your model's a little bit different than that. So kind of help someone understand why you like your model better than the other one that I illustrated.
I'm going to give you the end result, and then I'm going to talk about what you said. So the end result is why I think it's better. It's because they're getting results, right? They're doing deals. If you come to our event in September, this is a great example, and you say, show of hands, who's done a deal, at least one deal? There's probably going to be 60, 70% of the room. If you go to a local RIA meeting anywhere in the country, and there's 20 or 25 people in the room, you might get a person or 2 to raise their hand or stand up and say they have a deal. It's a complete inverse relationship and worse. The other thing is, with social media the way it is and online communication the way it is, when you do something like that real fast, that's going to come around and bite you, because it doesn't work unless your program's amazing and you have some support to come behind it. I don't know of a real estate course that you can say, send it off into the field and it's going to work 100% of the time for every student. I just don't, I don't see that happening. That's why we don't do it.
Sure. But in terms of your own internal, like how you do marketing, is you're really leading with a lot of content as opposed to, just, Facebook ads. So you are consciously, as a business owner, again, we're kind of talking insider baseball here, but you've chosen to say, you know what, I'm going to get out on stages and I'm just going to give value away. You've chosen that over, just directly selling to people. Why do you do that? I've chosen
the content piece, yes, and establishing as authority piece, meaning the books. But those go hand in hand, right? Because we give that away, perhaps. So, I absolutely chose that route, because people can get free stuff online now. So why not deliver a ton of great content, let them weigh it out, and then they can come forward if they want.
Yeah. And so I like this concept, and it seems, just based on taking a look at what you're doing, you seem to be giving away for free what other people are charging money for.
Yeah, no question. I'd rather do deals. That's just our model, right? As I said earlier, I'd rather have someone bringing deals to us and doing deals with us than I could take my course right now, the 10 modules, and cut it up into 5 courses and sell it and not have any support. It's not going to get any deals done.
Yeah, I love that. Now, one thing that you do in particular that I think is super clever is that, and it's a great way, is anybody can get a copy of your book, a actual physical copy of your book. Can you kind of explain that process from a marketing standpoint?
Sure. So it's on Amazon since we went bestseller in both the books, but when I'm ever on a show like this, we say, okay, great. We're going to give you a link, which we'll do, you and I, and you can get the book for free. It doesn't mean you're going to put in a card for shipping. We ship it out for free. So let's say that costs us, postage, book itself, everything, $6-7 all in, wholesale. That's the cost of our lead. And the next amount of those are going to have an interest in what we do. And that's great. So they sift themselves through the process.
So for someone who's interested in this subject, Chris, how can they get that copy of that book?
The original book, which really tells the A through Z system, is the first book that came out, and it's just go to free, FREE, and then the letters SREC, and that's Smart Real Estate Coach. So free, SRECbook.com.
Free, SRECbook.com, and they can get a copy of the book free.
Yeah, just put their address in, let them know that they saw it on your show, and away we go. We get them out every Friday.
From a community building or obviously you've got a business to run and you make your revenue from doing deals. I think a lot of people are going to hear that, marketers, and say, my gosh, you're paying $10 per lead, giving them value. Listen, I mean, in terms of like, if you're going to do Facebook advertising, like your CPL, you're going to spend that or more, and you're just giving that money to Menlo Park. You may as well just give it to the person.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like a much better way to enter into a relationship. Zuckerberg's got enough money, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that too. But look, you got to look at it. You said before the show, I think, Josh, the value of the customer, the client. Forget the fact that we're going to help them do deals. That's what they want. That's what they seek. But both ends of this, value to us, lifetime, I don't know, $300,000-400,000 maybe if they stick with the program, because we're doing a ton of good deals. Value to them, we average on $75,000 a deal, $75,000 a deal over the course of 1 to 3 or 4 years per one deal. So it's not for them to justify going further either, because it makes sense financially.
Yeah. Now, Chris, you do a lot of podcast interviews. What other things do you do for visibility?
Speaking. I mean, the speaking is good because all we're doing there, besides the free webinar that you can get online, we do a similar version in person, right? With Q&A and things like that. So it's like an hour to an hour and a half of pure content. And again, they can say, this is a niche I want to do, or no, it's not. So those two things are big for us.
And you have your own event?
And then we have our own event twice a year. So that's unique too, Josh, because who comes to that event, typically 99% of the people had already been through our course, because it comes with the course. So everybody in that room singing the same tune, right? They're all marching the same area, and they want the profits. They want the 3 paydays we create. They want the terms deals. Everybody in that room is on the same plane, so to speak.
Nice. And that, by the way, that event, so that's QLSlive.com. That's September. This 22 days away from when we're recording this. So by the time this publishes, this will have already gone. Hopefully, Chris, the event was amazing.
Right. Well, there's a spring one too. So April 1, 2, 3 is our business scaling secrets. Those are the only 2 we run.
That's great. And good friend of mine, Ty Crandall from Credit Suite's going to be there. Looks like it's going to be a great event.
We're having Rudy. Rudy's the keynote. Rudy from the real, Rudy Rudiger from the movie Rudy.
Oh my gosh. No kidding.
Yeah. He's in his 70s. He's speaking. He's the keynote.
Fantastic. Well, awesome. Well, Chris Prefontaine, you're the founder and CEO of smartrealestatecoach.com. Tell me one more time how people can get the copy of the book for free.
Sure. Just go to SRECbook.com and just let us know they're on your show.
That's fantastic. Chris, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having me. Good chat.